very, very important. It is not enough.
That's not what I want.
Bad basketball. The refs killed the game, and I will be the first to
awful
admit.
too.
Texans who will forever regret passing on Johnny
Is that serious
Manziel.
right now?
You are supporting me in my McGregor bet and how I will not have to wear a romper because McGregor will whoop that ass.
Now this I can get into. All right, we're going to reset the show. Welcome to the podcast, or if you're listening to the replay on Friday at 3:30, you can catch us every Friday at 3:30, especially when we hit the record button. This is Scout Team Sports. I'm joined with Kyle the Loudbeard Sanders, who is on the road in Georgia, making his way back home from taking over South Carolina, basically, spreading the good news of Scout Team Sports and 12-ounce sports.
So all of our listeners know, Chris America erased half of our great show and embarrassed all of us by start over. But that's okay, Chris. I forgive you because I've done that times. It happens. We're going to move.
We're moving on to Cincinnati, man.
But that's okay.
We're moving on to Cincinnati. Sorry to all the Pac-12 fans who missed our great, riveting Pac-12 breakdown. But like the Pac-12 itself, half of the country can't watch it anyways because they're in bed asleep. So I was asleep at the wheel with the record button. So sorry that the Pac-12 got missed again, just like you guys do in real life.
All right, well, I don't know about you, but I want to talk about some NFL because I feel like there's some good storylines coming out of the NFL, some good things I want to talk about. And then I do have a little segment. It's called Get Weird with Loudbeard. We're going to do that too. So we've got some great stuff coming up. So I hope our listeners are ready.
All right, let's do it. What do you got on mind for the NFL, man? Are you ready?
All right,
so the Hall of Fame game's in like 2 weeks, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything, breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, the
Southern Georgia.
Yeah, 2 weeks away till the Hall of Fame game, right?
The Hall of Fame game?
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything. I hate the preseason's off. I don't even care if it is Hall of Fame. To me, that football's coming. It doesn't give me what I need. I think the preseason is basically just the biggest giant tease for what football is. They're basically playing two-hand touch. Nobody's really doing anything good. You're seeing like the fifth-string guys that were going to get cut anyway. I don't know. It's just a mess. But the one player that I'm excited to see out there playing in the preseason, week one of the preseason, Andrew Luck is supposed to be throwing the ball. After having a noodle shoulder for 2 years, this guy might actually come out and throw a ball more than 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on this one. I had made the bold prediction that we would never see Andrew Luck in a Colts uniform. This news surprises me that he's actually out here throwing the football, but I'm still not sure. I was listening to Colin Cowherd for like 5 minutes today in the car before I had to change it because he's awful. But he was talking about how, the Jaguars aren't going to do so well because Deshaun Watson's back and Andrew Luck is back. And I'm sitting here thinking, Andrew Luck being back, like how can you say that that's a trump card to anything? We have no idea what this guy's going to look like.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. I'm excited to see him out there, but my expectations are very low for what Andrew Luck can bring. One, he's out of shape. Two, he's been having this shoulder injury that killed his throwing arm. He may not have any power. He may not have any velocity. He may not be the same Andrew Luck that we have come to know and love.
And his team is still really bad. Like, they really, what strides did they make as a team to surround him with to make him a good NFL quarterback?
Oh, they've been making bad moves like this for years. They did the same thing when they had Peyton Manning. They got blessed with moving on from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, and they just never have been able to get a good team built around them. And the same thing now. The offensive line is always suspect, and, they don't give him the protection he needs. That's why he gets hurt. And, it's just going to be a disappointing year for Colts fans, like it is every year. So I'm very low expectations. I do want to see him. Maybe he'll surprise me, but I'm not drafting him in fantasy, and I'm not expecting him to do anything in reality.
I think the best case scenario for him is going to be he comes out and plays average. He gets you like 200 to 280 passing yards a game, maybe a touchdown or two, and you just hope that he kind of becomes like a game manager. But the team is bad. That shoulder is...
Oh, my God! Hit the horn next time that happens. Oh, my fucking God! You fucking ass! He didn't even know. Sorry. That was live on air. We almost got ran off the road.
Wow.
So that's good to hear. That I'm glad we're live.
I'm glad you're alive.
So we're back in business. So what were we talking about, Andrew Luck?
You almost crashed your car and had a bad shoulder like Andrew Luck.
Oh, it would have been bad. That would have been bad. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We're talking about Andrew Luck. I just don't want to downplay the guy too much. He's going to be all right. I heard some news. There was a little video today, and I do think that Antonio Brown has officially become the biggest diva I've ever seen in my life. And that's with T.O., Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, all of these guys being in the NFL. Antonio Brown comes into training camp today in a helicopter. That's how that dude rolls. Do you see that footage?
I did not, and this is news to me. This is breaking news to Chris America. That is badass. That's not diva. That is badass.
Yeah, there's a video of it if you want to check out. I'm sure it's floating around on the Twitter world. But, yes, Antonio Brown did show up to training camp today in a helicopter, and that right there is total diva status. And I don't know where that comes from because this guy, he 2-3 years ago, was probably one of the low-key guys that hadn't really done anything. He was just went out there and did his job. And then in the last 2 years, he's turned into Dancing with the Stars, doing YouTube videos in the locker room, and now he's coming in on a helicopter. He's all of a sudden turned into the total diva wide receiver. And to me, that's a bad thing. That is not a good thing. That's a bad sign for Pittsburgh because I don't think that he's focused on what he should be focused on. I think his mind is into all this glamour and glitz.
Well, just so you know, as our show has been growing over the last year, and it's going to continue to grow with our daily show on 12 Ounce Sports, I plan on becoming the diva of the show. I plan on doing YouTube videos right in the middle of our show. I plan on doing dances all the time. And if I ever become wealthy enough, which we will when this show hits millions upon millions of listeners every week or every day, one of my goals in life is to go to my class reunion in a helicopter. So just so you know, I'm preparing you, Kyle Loudbeard, to not hate on me so much when I become that diva.
First of all, the only diva on the show is Anthony Mack, the man with the golden mic.
That's true.
He's the biggest diva of them all. You're never going to reach... You're never going to reach that diva status.
First he was afraid, and then he was even petrified.
Good, nice one. I see what you're doing with this.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this. But he was, I don't know if you saw this video floating around on the internet, but I think he was out doing one of those, a Kiki video where the car's driving and he's doing the dance moves. He's total diva. He's outshining you.
He needs to do the Kiki dance. We need to get him to do that. He's probably going to say no, even though deep down inside we know that he's got that inner male aficionado inside of him screaming to be let out.
I was watching something the other day that reminded me a lot of the man with the golden mic. Have you gotten an opportunity to watch that Shaq Shark Week footage that's going on Shark Week right now?
I have not. Apparently, I need to just be online a little bit more.
Yeah, well, this was the whole show. I watched an hour-long show. Rob Riggle's on there with Shaq, making fun of him the whole time. It's kind of like what we do with Anthony Mack on our show. And Rob Riggle's making fun of Shaq the whole time, and they keep pushing Shaq to do these things. Hey, go swim with the sharks. Hey, go feed the shark. Hey, touch the shark. And the whole time he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And it reminded me of Anthony Mack. So Anthony Mack, the man with the golden mic, is pretty similar to Shaquille O'Neal. And I just wanted to say that here first on Scout Team Radio, that Anthony Mack is the same as Shaquille O'Neal. So we just need to get him out of his shell, get him a little excited, maybe have him do a little Shaq Fu, and then I think we can get him to do the Kiki.
I follow you with this, and you're right. Shaquille O'Neal and Anthony Mack are practically the same person. The only glaring difference, the biggest difference between the two, is that Shaq is black.
Oh, that and their height. Anthony is half of a Shaq.
I don't even know if he reaches half. I'd put him at a third.
A third of Shaq. He's a third of Shaq. He's the size of Shaq's shoe.
Well, speaking of tall, scary monsters, did you see that there's going to be another Godzilla movie? The Godzilla trailer dropped this week. Did you see that?
No, say that one more time. What kind of trailer?
The Godzilla trailer dropped this week. Did you see it?
Oh, you know what? I know a lot of that stuff's going right now because of Comic-Con just finished. I saw that they're doing a new one, but I did not get a chance to watch the trailer. So tell me a little bit about it.
It is awful. I don't know who's clamoring for another Godzilla movie. I haven't seen one version of Godzilla be released. And after we all watch it, we said, man, that was really great. I really hope they make another Godzilla movie because that blew my mind away. And yet somehow every 5 to 6 years, a studio decides to make a Godzilla movie. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. Hey, and speaking of blowing your mind away, did you see that your boy Jimmy Garoppolo's dating a porn star?
Yeah, I saw that, and everybody losing their minds over it. I don't understand it. America, why are we so obsessed with other people's sex lives? Why do we care so much about what other people are doing and who they're dating?
Now, if you saw him walking down the street with the said porn star, I don't remember her name. It was something or another. But if he was walking down the street on a date and walked by you, would you give him a dirty look or would you give him a high five?
I'd give him a high five, man. Do your thing, player.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
He got his big payday. He gets all of his money, and now he's just dating around, just getting to meet new people. So it's definitely a good thing. And the porn star, I will say that she was putting out on her Instagram page something about, hey, the ladies know when I have to put my hair back, what that means. Wish me luck. So I think she was preparing herself for a fun date.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up the name of the porn star.
Yeah, go for it, man. I don't have it on my notes. I should have copied it down. Better check that out. So while you're looking that up, you can interrupt me. I'll just kind of go off a couple other notes here. So Todd Gurley gets paid, kind of like Jimmy G did last year, but finally running backs are starting to get that big money. Le'Veon Bell got that franchise tag last week that we talked pretty heavily about, but Todd Gurley getting a super contract extension with the Rams. They're paying the man. They know what he means to their offense. And I think some of these other running backs are pretty excited because they're going to start getting paid also. Saquon Barkley got a big paycheck. So all these guys are getting paid. But so your investigative reporting, were you able to locate what the porn star's name is?
I'm sorry, man. I was somebody was talking to me in the studio. What did you say?
I said, did your investigative reporting come up with what the porn star's name is? All of our listeners want to know.
Was it Judy Swallows? Was that the name?
Oh, I lost you.
Was it Judy Swallows?
All right, I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm asking you. Was that what it was? Can you not hear me, man?
No, it was breaking up. Say it one more time.
Judy Swallows, was that what it was?
I don't think so. That doesn't sound familiar. I think it was like a Mia Morrow or something. Something weird.
Was it Dixie Normous?
No, keep going, though. You're getting closer.
Let me see. Was it Wendy Wacko?
Ooh, it could be. No, it's maybe her sister. What's her sister's name?
Brownie Shittles?
Oh, that sounds a little bit dark for Jimmy G's taste. Keep going. He's more of a sugar cookie style.
Wait, he's not dating a guy porn star. Is it Dick Pound?
Well, I don't know. She looked like she kind of had muscular arms and thick eyebrows. She could have been a man in disguise. So, yes, it could have been that one.
Was it Heather?
What else you got?
Heather Cockburn?
Ooh, yeah, Heather. Yeah, I'm thinking it might have been Heather.
Was it Thea Beaver?
No, it was not Thea Beaver.
Are we sure it's not a guy? Because I got a guy here named Mike Litteris.
Oh, man. Good old Mike Litteris.
Is it an Asian guy named Chu Cock? Or is it Coke? K-O-K, is that Coke or Cock?
Oh, Chris America. I don't know where you come up with this stuff.
Hold on, I got the best one yet.
Let's hear it.
I can't say it. Yolanda Squat Pump. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
Yolanda Squat Pump.
Ooh. I bet that's her maiden name.
Her maiden name?
Yeah, Squat Pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're from the Polish Squat Pump family.
Yeah, it's Polish Squat Pump. Yolanda. I don't know how I'm going to find these names, but the names that I just came up with are all good names, good girls that he should be dating.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at these quarterbacks. You got Aaron Rodgers. He's like, I'm going to go a little mainstream. I'm going to date Danica Patrick. And then you got a little bit of a rebellious side over there in San Francisco with Jimmy G. And he goes and he just decides to give himself a nice dating partner over there in the porn world. So I think Jimmy G's kind of setting the bar pretty high for some of these other quarterbacks. I mean, Tom Brady, yeah, he married a supermodel, but does that really compare to what Jimmy G's doing?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think that Danica Patrick's going to do some of the things.
No. Nope.
All right, what else you got in the NFL? Is that it?
No, I got a ton here. Look at this. I came prepared. I'm the hardest working man in the scout team, especially since there's two of us tonight. I definitely outworked you by a centimeter. But I did see there was an article circulating about T.O. and how the Browns might be looking at T.O. So I just want to say that the Cleveland Browns are winning the offseason this year. They've done some really great moves, and if they bring in T.O., I think that is going to be – and I said T.O., I meant Dez Bryant. Same guy, basically the same guy. But Dez Bryant, the Browns are looking at. So what do you think if Cleveland brings in Dez Bryant? Are you thinking Super Bowl? Because I'm kind of thinking that way.
I think they'll not only win the Super Bowl but the Stanley Cup. They're going to have quite the collection of wide receivers if they bring in Dez Bryant. You know, Josh Gordon, his whole ordeal is in the air right now. We don't know when he's coming back. But they did pick up that kid from Miami. What was his name?
Jarvis Landry.
Landry, yep. So even Jarvis Landry and Dez Bryant would be an interesting duo. But I don't know. I mean, you'd start off with Tyrod Taylor. I think the veteran, you'd want him handling those two guys. You know, have that leadership. I don't know. Do you think Baker Mayfield could handle those two type of personalities?
You know what? I think Baker Mayfield has the personality to be able to handle those two guys. And Baker Mayfield just got a fully guaranteed contract. Kirk Cousins was the first guy last year to get a fully guaranteed contract. Now all of a sudden, NFL's handing them out like candy. Cleveland gives a $32 million fully guaranteed deal to Baker Mayfield. I think I would like to see Tyrod Taylor start the year as the quarterback for the Browns, but I'm kind of more and more leaning towards let's let these guys battle it out, and whoever wins it, and maybe Baker Mayfield wins it in the preseason, and he comes in as the starting quarterback this year, and he lights it up because he's going to have Dez Bryant, he's going to have Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon will be back at some point. This offense has to be good. I just there's no way this offense can't be good, and I just see it I see them turning it around. Maybe not a 10-win season, but 6 to 8 wins out of these Cleveland Browns, and then they sneak into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl.
Well, we already know that their defense is really solid. That was definitely not their problem last year. And I think that 6 to 8 wins is going to be completely necessary for this coaching staff to keep their jobs. So I like your optimism. We had the same optimism beginning of last season. Hopefully it doesn't end up goose egg on us like it did last year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the optimism. They let me down last year.
All right, I also have a couple
and I hate that.
I have a couple of new suspects that might be Jimmy G's girlfriend. Is her name Ginger? Gingivitis?
Gingivitis, yes.
Ginger,
that
she's a sweet
familiar.
girl, sweet little redhead. And then I only got one other girl as a suspect, Kelly Lingus.
That's also a good one. Look, I feel like you maybe have out-prepared me. Maybe I'm not the hardest-working guy on the scout team.
Did you look
you
up?
have spent a lot of time and effort researching porn stars' names. I'm actually impressed with your work ethic in this matter.
Did you look up Anita Softwood?
Oh, wait. For the record, Mrs. Loudbeard just reached over and said, "Hey, what are you talking about? It's Kiera Mia. Come on, get it right."
Who?
Kiera Mia.
Who's that?
I don't know, but Mrs. Loudbeard seems to know her pretty well.
That's a terrible porn name. That porn name is not as good as Teen Laquifa.
Now that one I like.
Teen Laquifa.
We should hook her up with someone.
Yeah, I like Teen Laquifa.
Yeah, Queen Latifah. I mean, what movies has she been in?
I don't know, but I'd like to see her next to Tammy Salami.
You're having way too much fun with this.
I found a
like
website that has all these names. It's great.
Oh man, they get better and better as you go along.
Oh, there's a girl named Anna Lee. All right, did you want to do your Loudbeard of the Weird?
Oh, yeah, I'll do the Loudbeard Gets Weird segment here in just a second. Oh, by the way, your favorite guy on the Oakland Raiders, that would be the epic John Gruden. He came out and said, if I can't get it done, I won't take their money. So he's saying with his $100 million 10-year deal, if he can't get it done in Oakland or in, I guess, Las Vegas nowadays, he won't take their money. You believe that?
No, I don't believe that for a split second. Not at all. That's the most ridiculous. We've heard this before. Yeah, that's not going to happen. First of all, did he even define what get it done means?
No, he did not. He just said if I can't get it done. So
I mean, that could be
very
like
loose term.
Yeah, that could be like, oh, I mean, I made it to the playoffs 3 times. You guys haven't been in the playoffs 3 times in 20 years, so I got it done.
Yep, and then he'll take their money.
Yeah.
I agree with you. He's taking their money. But you know what else that I can believe? And this is the story that Loudbeard Gets Weird on. And apparently this is from a few years back, but for some reason it has resurfaced on the dark corners of the interweb. There seems to be a bride that had a wedding, and it was supposed to be a magical day for her, the happiest day of her life. She meets with the caterers in the morning of her wedding.
Now,
it is some barbecue catering company.
Now,
I'm not going to say their names because I know as a journalist, it would be very difficult for them to ever recover.
Well, now, Kyle, I got to ask: when you got married to Mrs. Loudbeard, what was your catering? What was your meal?
Oh, I don't know. It was like country food. We had some good stuff. I don't even remember what it was. She's looking at me like, I don't know. I had a liquid diet. We had some. We got married in Nashville. We had some Nashville craft beer on tap. I tapped it myself, and then Mrs. Loudbeard and I both did keg stands. And that is a true story. You heard it here first.
Did she do a keg stand? Like, so you know how when you do the wedding and you got to do the garter throw, and the husband's supposed to reach up the wife's leg and grab the garter off of her leg and stuff, and they do it all sexual and sensual. You know what I'm talking about?
No, it didn't work out that way. We had
I'm asking you,
nice.
but do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so then did you guys do it to where she did a keg stand, the dress plopped down, and then you pulled the garter off? Is that how that worked for you guys?
No, that's not how that worked.
Oh, okay.
What we decided to do is we went a little classier than that. We only do this the right way. So we have the wedding. We go back to the hotel before we go off to our honeymoon, and all of our family's still at the hotel. We have to bring the kegs back from the venue. We bring them, we drop them off in the parking lot. We say, all right, let's finish these off before we send them back up to the liquor store. She's in her wedding dress. I'm in my man suit, and we both do keg stands. And then my dad does a keg stand, and I hold his feet, and that is a true story.
That is one of the greatest father-son bonding moments I've ever heard in my life.
You know, it was a great moment, and it's something that we will never forget. Right, Mrs. Loudbeard? Nobody heard her, but she said, yeah, I think. What food? The food we ate. It was good. It was barbecue. I don't remember what the food was. I remember everything else, I swear. So the Loudbeard Gets Weird story of the week. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this, Chris America.
Yeah.
So a wedding day is supposed to be a magical, there's keg stands, there's great food. The groom typically doesn't remember what the food is, but on this magical story that we've had, the groom is going to remember the food for the rest of his life because they meet with the caterer that morning. Everything is good to go. Guests arrive. They have the reception. And then all of a sudden, one of the bridesmaids starts getting a little sick. And she goes off to the side. She has explosive diarrhea, explosive vomiting. And then another guest starts getting sick. And within the matter of 20 minutes, over 50% of the guests in a 200-person wedding, so about 100 people, have explosive diarrhea and vomiting at the same time. The venue explains it as a nightmarish moment in this beautiful couple's life where there wasn't enough room in the bathrooms. Guests started using all the plants and the corners, and they would go out into the woods out back, and diarrhea and vomiting everywhere. And this is what happens when you leave food out for too long. So this has been a PSA from the Food Safety Patrol known as the Loudbeard. Never leave barbecue out for more than 18 hours straight and letting salmonella and E. coli run rampant at your wedding. So for all of our listeners out there, be safe, avoid explosive diarrhea and vomiting at all costs. Thank you. This has been Loudbeard Gets Weird.
Do you think they had Swiss cake rolls?
I don't know, man.
Because there was a recall on Swiss cake rolls. So if you have Swiss cakes, throw those suckers out, man. They got salmonella in them or something.
No, I heard the same thing with goldfish crackers. This is a shame.
So they probably
Everybody loves goldfish crackers. They have had a recall for salmonella, goldfish crackers. This is all of our favorite foods are going bad. Chris America, I don't even know what to eat anymore.
What kind of world are we living in?
You know what I think the problem is? Everybody nowadays is saying that they're gluten-free. I think the glutens are helping spawn more salmonella and E. coli. So if you eat glutens, you're safe. If you go gluten-free, all of these sicknesses are running rampant.
I like that take. There's no need for anybody to Google the truth behind that because it's true. So you heard it here first. Loudbeard once again breaking down all the information you need to know, telling you what you need to hear live on 12 Sports Radio. Hashtag truth. I'm going to go roll into my Chris America Dummy All-Star this week.
All right.
I like that weird story of the weird. I like that new segment. Explosive diarrhea is always fun to talk about. Laughter is the best medicine unless you have diarrhea.
Yep.
So, Kyle, you have how many tattoos?
Maybe 7.
You have 7 tattoos? Any of them that you regret getting?
No.
What are your tattoos? I've only seen, like, the one on your leg.
Oh, they kind of all roll together. I've got a picture of a zombie.
Okay.
I've got a picture of Dr. Manhattan. I've got a picture. I don't know. I've got lots. I'll have to post them for you.
Man, you can't remember your tattoos, and you can't remember what you ate at your wedding.
Hey, man, I never claimed to be the most rememberable, or I don't have a memory like an elephant like everybody else in the world does. I just live life one day at a time.
Do you?
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you have any kids' names on your body tattooed?
No kids' names. I have my Mrs. Loudbeard tattooed on my leg. That is one of my tattoos. I did remember that one because she's giving me a dirty look.
Nice. Well, there's a woman in Sweden named Johanna Sandström. She's 30. She's got 2 kids. She decided to go down to her local tattoo parlor, local tattoo studio, and get her kids' names inked onto her body. The kids' names are...
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, the kids' names are Nova. That's a kind of a cool name, right? Like, my name is Nova. That's kind of a superhero name. You like that name,
yep.
right? And then Kevin.
All right, Kevin and Nova. So you've got a superhero and like a nerdy bookworm.
Like, hey, what's up, man? My name's Nova. Oh, that's cool. Your brother must have a cool name. What's your name? Kevin.
Kevin.
So she has the tattoo artist. She tells him the names. She writes it down for him. He draws up the design, right? You've been through this process before. They draw up the design, and then they ask you, like, hey, do you want to check over the design to make sure this is what you want, right? Does that happen? I don't have tattoos, so I don't know.
Yeah, they draw it up, and then they'll even like put a little ink stamp on your leg with the outline of it, and they say, how does this look? Is it in the right place? Do you like what it looks like? Do I need to change anything? You go through a pretty thorough process. It's not just, hey, I'm going to shove a tattoo on you whether you like it or not. You got to proofread it first.
Yeah, so she said I wanted the names of my children tattooed on me, Nova and Kevin, and I gave the artist their names. The artist drew the design and didn't ask anything about spelling, so I didn't give it any thought. So she goes through the tattoo, whole thing, and then she looks down and her heart stops. As she looks down, she sees Nova. Nova's cool. Nova was easy for the tattoo artist to spell. And she sees Kelvin. Kelvin. Kevin got changed into Kelvin.
All right. Now, I would change the kid's name. It's probably easier than changing the tattoo. You go get birth certificate updated, change the kid's name. No one will ever know. Kelvin and Nova.
Well, she goes to the tattoo artist, and he's like, look, there's not much I can do. I gave you a chance to review the tattoo before I began. I'll refund you the money, and he hands her the phone number to some tattoo removal clinics around town. And so she looks into it. You probably know, I mean, I don't know if you know, but everybody probably knows, like, it's really expensive, and you got to go through a ton of treatments before you can get it taken off, right?
Yeah, I've seen them do it on like a YouTube video, and it looks extremely painful.
Yeah, so she says, bump that, and she's on your mentality. She decided to rename the kid.
Oh, that's how you do it. That's easier than changing the tattoo.
Yep.
That kid can change their name.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Kevin, come here. You see Mommy's tattoo? Your name's Kelvin now. You're going to go by Kelvin.
That's how you do it. You know what? I don't blame her. It happens. It's life.
And you know what?
Kelvin's probably a sweet young man.
I think karma kind of caught up. Like, the universe saw it. It's like, why does Nova get a cool name, but Kevin doesn't? And, Nova means like a star or like the sun. And Kelvin is like a measurement in temperature. When you talk about how hot something is, you talk about Kelvin. So I think it works. It works a lot better.
I'm with you, man. I don't blame her.
I mean, which would you rather be? Would you rather be a Kevin or a Kelvin?
Probably a Kevin, but that's okay. I'll be a Loudbeard instead.
Now, do you tell your friends? Like, how do you go about telling all your friends? Like, by the way, it's no longer Kevin, it's Kelvin. Just call him Kelvin now, Grandma, Aunt, Aunt whoever, call him Kelvin.
I would say that I would get with my family and say, all right, here's the deal. I screwed up. but Kelvin's a really great part of the family, so please love him like you love Kevin.
Well, I got some good news, buddy. The couple has a new daughter, and they named her Freja, or Freja, Freeja. She's gonna get that one tattooed, but I think she's gonna write it down on a piece of paper.
Okay, Freja.
I mean, they're Sweden. They're Sweden, so I guess maybe that's a Sweden name.
Okay. All right. I like it, man. That was a good one. So
yeah, that's my Chris America Dummy All-Star. If you're going to go get a tattoo, number one, don't get a tattoo of a name of a chick that you're dating or a guy. Don't do that. That's nuts. Sorry to anybody who has that. No offense. And children are okay. Just make sure you spell them right, and then make sure you tell your kids before they go to college, don't be an asshole.
All right, I've got a couple more I want to add to that for you.
Okay,
so always get Looney Tunes tattooed on your body, whether it's Tasmanian Devil or Bugs Bunny. Looney Tunes are always good tattoos to get. I also like tribal tattoos, only on the lower back, though, where it reaches your butt crack.
Especially if you're a guy.
On a guy. Only on a guy.
Do you think Mac has a tribal tattoo on his lower back?
Right where the crack meets the back. Yes, he does. He showed me one.
It probably says Kelvin.
He's the man
on it, too.
aficionado for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
He likes to show off his manhood.
All right, well, we got about 4 minutes left. Do you have an Oprah solid, sir?
Oh, man, I've got the best Oprah solid you could ever think of.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't know if you saw this news. This is breaking right now. This is Chris America breaking. But Vince Carter has agreed to a contract to play for the Atlanta Hawks this year. That's right. Vince Carter, 41 years old, is still playing in the NBA. This man just will not give up. He's the ageless wonder, 41 years old. He's still doing it better than everybody else. You know, this is the man that young players should try to be like. He wins the slam dunk contest when he's young, and now he's played for every team in the NBA, I think. I haven't measured it, but I'm pretty sure it's every team for the NBA. He's gone around. He's old. Everybody likes him, and he's just a good guy. So congratulations for Vince Carter for being old AF and still being in the NBA. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't hear that he's done that, and I think you're right. I think he has played I think he even played for the Minnesota Lakers at one point.
Yeah, he's been on all the old teams. He played for the original.
Yeah, he's probably
when they had the teal jersey, Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning back in the day.
Yeah, he's probably on the Fort Wayne Pistons as well, and the Rochester Royals.
Yep. Yeah, he's played for them all. He's gone. He was ABA for a while, then he switched back over to NBA.
Yeah. My Oprah solid is going to be none other than Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson. I saw on a Facebook post this week, I guess a server or whatever tweeted out or posted out a bill that he had. He had a $140 dinner bill at Smith and Walensky's America's Steakhouse. So he probably had, it was probably date night with his wife. $140, $70 a plate. That sounds about right?
Yeah, that's good time.
Now,
With his wife or a porn star. Either way.
Well, I mean, I said it was Chad Johnson, not Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, that was Chad Ochocinco. Chad Johnson does not exist anymore.
Oh, okay. I thought he changed his name back.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
All right, so what do you...
We'll call him Chad Meta World Peace.
All right. What do you typically tip?
20%. I'm a reasonable guy.
All right, well, he tipped 185%.
That's impressive.
Yeah, $260. I guess he just wanted to get up to $400 bill. So he paid $400 total for a $140 plate. But the best part about this is he put down at the bottom, I once had 260 yards against the Chargers. And then parentheses, he put, I love you. That's a solid a tip. Not only is it a tip in money, but then he also gives them like, hey, I also had a 260-yard game against the Chargers. So not only am I a good tipper, but I'm a good wide receiver.
That's classy right there. He's a class act.
So Oprah Solid, Chad Johnson. Love the guy.
All right, great Oprah Solids tonight. We got Oprah Solid hashtag Vince Carter and hashtag Oprah Solid Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson.
Yep. Well,
good one there, Chris America.
I think that's going to be the end of our show. It's 9 o'clock, man. I hope you drive safe through Florida. You got about, what, like another 2.5 hours to go? 2:45?
Yeah, something like that. I think we're going to get in about 10:45, 11 tonight. So we're working it. We're trying to get there.
All right, man. Drive safe. Everybody else have a good, safe rest of your week. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Later.